Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. Uh, we It's been about 10 days since I've had an update. Done a few things here in the garden, but I guess first off let me talk about Cathy a little bit. She is improving day by day. She even managed to cut my hair today for the first time. She is the only one that's cut it in 38 years, so I was kind of holding out until she was ready. Um, Still have some issues with her left hand, but she managed to mess around and she got it. It's not exactly the same as she would normally do it, but it's not bad. She's also been helping out in the garden a little bit, but she's not yet ready to get back on camera. She's still doing a little bit of therapy, a little bit of speech, a little bit of occupational, and so um, maybe she'll be back for too long. But all in all, she's doing good. We're doing good, and fortunately, I'm retired, so I could be here with her. And now she's pretty much functioning all on her own. So anyway, let's get our party started with the garden. So let's go. Uh, Greenstalks. Figured I would remove our little squirrel covers and show you what we got going on with the strawberries. We got a good bit here, and I just picked them yesterday, so we still got a good bit of strawberries. These are she transferred over. They're starting to come along. We got a little bit of strawberries on there. Well, got to have the obligatory siren. Seems like every time we do a video, we have some type of emergency vehicle come by, which that's okay. Lettuce. Heck, this lettuce has been planted for quite some time. We're still getting some. In fact, that's what we're having for dinner tonight. But it's doing really well, and I think it's about on its last legs, so we may not be getting a whole lot as the weather starts heating up here. We've already pretty much stripped the last Greenstalk clean, so I think Cathy says she's going to plant some flowers in here, so we'll see how they work. Our potatoes. Cathy started those from seed, and we have some nice little bushes in there. I'm kind of hoping they're going to make in these grow bags. So far, they're doing pretty well. I have, I think, 2 to each bag, so we got 10 plants here. Got them going. As you can see in the garden here, I have a lot of stuff that is wet. What I did out of the raised bed garden, I had some extra cucumbers because I planted 2 or 3 to the hill. Some of them had 2, some of them had 3, some had 1, but I transferred 4 cucumbers over here. 1 because the cucumbers I did plant here did not come up. Don't know why. The squash that I planted here, zucchini that I planted here, all 3 of those came up. In fact, I had a spare one, so I planted a spare one over here, and had some spare spaghetti squash, the angel hair spaghetti, and I've planted about 3 of them over here. So watered them in. They look a little bit rough right now, but I think they'll pop back up as they absorb that water. In here, still going to plant a few more things in this area. Did plant today some okra. I had planted some over here, but I think it's getting too much shade in that area, so I figured I would plant them over in this section and give them a little bit more sunlight. Our cucuzzi squash, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hills of that. Plan on letting it climb the fence and give us some of those cucuzzi gourds. Here we have our Kajari melons. I'm not sure exactly how those grow, but they're supposed to vine up and supposed to get on the fence as well. So as those get up a little bit higher, we'll start attaching them and get those going. here, that's I think called nasturtium. Cathy had got some of those. They're flowers that are supposed to help prevent bugs from getting on your squashes and things. So I'm hoping that those will help us out. We've kind of planted them around the squashes and the tomatoes to try to be a barrier. We do have some tomatoes growing here. These are all beefsteak tomatoes. Up here we have just some of the cherry tomatoes that had volunteered. So they're coming up. Plus we have 4 more cherry tomatoes here. Looks like I need a little bit more water on these today too. But here is some of those nasturtiums right in here. That's a little bit larger one here. So getting it going. I had planted some Kentucky Wonder string beans in here. Probably planted 25 or so. I've had 2 to come up, so I'm not sure that they're going to ever do anything. Might not be getting enough sunlight back here. Our chives and our onions, they still seem to be coming along. Plus Cathy had started some lavender from seed, and she transplanted it this past week, and it seems to be doing okay. So hopefully that'll come along. More onions in here, looking good. I think I got about 25 or 30 in there. Hopefully they're not too close together. Our blueberries are doing really good. We did have a few of the branches on this second one that were dying, so I cut those off, and now all our blueberries look good. Hopefully we'll start getting those probably another 2 weeks maybe, and we'll start getting a few. And we'll pick those up. Let's see, our bluebirds. Well, we had a little problem with one. They did hatch since I think the last time that we've been on. We had 4 to hatch, and 4, I think they hatched on the 15th, so that was like 10 days ago, 15th and 16th, 9 and 10 days ago. And they were doing good up until yesterday, and then all of a sudden we looked in the camera and we saw there were only 3. We had turned the camera off to kind of preserve, and during the daytime to kind of preserve the battery, and unfortunately we didn't really pick up on what had happened to it. And then we walking around in the yard and we found it dead in the yard. Now it was definitely too young to have climbed out the nest on its own, so I'm not sure whether it died in the nest and the mother bluebird took it out, or some other bird got in there and took it out, trying to eat it, but it didn't look like it had been attacked in any way, but really not sure what had happened to it. So I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully all the rest of them, the other 3, hopefully they'll do well. Got some sunflowers in here, maybe a few zinnias that are coming. Got these real pretty purple flowers here. I love these. They're great. So they're doing well. Our bottle brush plant still doing well. Our sunflowers in here, man, they're getting really big now. I think they're getting close to a point where they start putting on the sunflowers, but we have them kind of right in amongst the tomatoes. I planted, Cathy started some from seed, and I just replanted them, I think, right at our last video. So I have several in here that were sets, and we did have 1 or 2 that died. So Cathy planted some seeds, and you can see the seeds are already starting to pop up. So we'll we have some replacements now. Garlic's still looking good in here. That's also preventative to try to keep the bugs off. Again, we'll see how well that works. Cucumbers, they're looking really good, or were looking really good until I started separating some, because I had 2 to 3 to the hill. Removed some of them and replanted, and it kind of upset the plants that were there. So they're looking a little distressed right now, but I think they'll be okay. Over there, over here is butternut squashes. They're looking pretty good. I'm getting ready to put one of those cages on those for them to grow on. These are, what are those? Angel hair spaghetti. Spaghetti squashes, they're doing okay. More cucumbers right in here. That was a transplant. That one was one of the originals. So seems to be doing okay. Let's see. Here I had planted some sweet potatoes, and they just never have done anything. So I'm probably getting ready to plant something else in there. Here beside the house, several tomatoes in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I had 7. Again, one of them didn't come up. Cathy reseeded, and we already have little new ones popping up here. So they're gonna, I guess they'll make out okay. All these are full-size tomatoes. I think they are determinate, so they'll only get about 4 to 5 feet high, supposedly. So hopefully it won't block our view from the porch like the tomatoes we had last year, because they really just went almost all the way up the side of the screen. Various flowers in here, hummingbird flowers and other things. Not sure what all is in here. I know some zinnias and some other things are in here too. So all seem to be growing. More hummingbird flowers. Just some general stuff here. Okay. Well, I think that is our video for the day. Hopefully I covered everything. We still have a few more things that we're going to plant. Definitely don't have nearly as many tomatoes as we did last year, but we do have a lot of other things that we did not have last year. So we're going to see how those work. But anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in, sticking with us. We'll continue to try to put out some content, videos. Right now it's mostly garden videos. We may put out some other stuff later. But again, appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. Hit that like button if you like what we're doing. Give us a comment if you would like to see something or just discuss something. But thank you all for your time. Couldn't leave without getting the kitty on the video. She's sitting in my chair. She seems to do that every day, and I don't think anybody can lounge and relax quite like she can. Oh yeah, you know I'm talking about you. You are such a good kitty. Gracious goodness. I guess I lost my chair again.